are generalizing here, right? Because I would say there's always exceptions. There is always exception. So what are absolutely, yeah, I'm sorry I cut you. So basically what you're saying is that in large we're entering a more masculine era. Would you say that's anyhow related to the recently political shift in the US?
Uh, well, actually, I would say that our president and certain other people in his administration, uh, unfortunately, tend to exhibit traits of toxic masculinity,
Oh.
uh, and and which is not to say that I dislike everything about Donald Trump. I didn't vote for him, but I was actually, I mean, I was excited when he, came into when he was elected president, and I think he has good intentions, and there are probably things that he's doing that are good, but he has a way of coming across that is actually very toxic, and you're seeing that both domestically and internationally.
Mm.
Um, Other countries, leaders of other countries, are reacting to his demeanor in our administration's demeanor in a way that's like, you know what, you are trying to bully me, and there are certain things you can get away with, but you can't get away with everything because we're going to fight back, and that's happening domestically also. So, he is. I mean, he's definitely a leader. He's absolutely a leader. And if you look at our political spectrum today, he's probably the only leader that we have, unfortunately. The reason Donald Trump is so popular is because he is a leader. And he's authentic. He has the courage to be authentic. And he's probably the only politician that you can say that of. Maybe Bernie Sanders as well. Maybe Zoran Mamdani, the probably seems to be soon to be mayor of New York City. But when you look at politicians in the United States, there are very few examples of authenticity and leadership, and there are plenty of examples of fakery and just the absence of leadership, right?
Mm.
So the reason Donald Trump is as popular as he is, he's certainly masculine in certain ways. Some of those ways are healthy, some of those ways are not. But he is definitely authentic, and he's definitely a leader. He's not embarrassed to be himself, and so that's why he's so popular.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, certain ways agree, but at the same time that he feels like a leader, he also has he like says some whack shit.
Oh yeah,
He's like, oh, the other day I was just listening to the news. Apparently, he wants to build like a ballroom next to the White House. It's like,
yeah,
what are you talking about?
yeah, yeah. Well, and what I mean when I say that he's a leader, it's not all good, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you think
Hitler was
it's
a leader.
possible to have to be a leader, a masculine leader, only with the good aspects and none of the bad? Is this even
I mean,
possible?
it's possible. It's nobody's perfect, but it's worth striving for, right? I'm not comparing Trump to Hitler. He isn't, but Hitler was a leader, right? That doesn't mean he did
Hmm.
some of the worst things that have ever been done in the history of the human race, right? So to your point of, well, Trump does these crazy things. Yeah, he absolutely. By calling him a leader, I'm not saying everything he does is good, because you can lead people in a bad direction, right? But what it takes to be a leader, unfortunately, to be a leader, you don't have to be a good person to be a leader. You have to be confident to some extent. You have to be audacious. You have to be willing to take the lead. If you're willing to take the lead in this world, because most people are not, most people want to be led. Okay, so the the people who are willing to take the lead are relatively few. And so if you're willing to take the lead, then you will be a leader, and followers will be drawn to you. And regardless which direction you're going in.
Yeah.
Okay, you could be the worst person in the world, unfortunately, and you can be a leader, and people will be drawn to you, because not everybody, but there are people to whom your message will make sense, and they will follow you. So regardless which direction you want to lead in, you will, if you are committed to it, you will succeed, and followers will be drawn to you. So it's all the more important to have as many leaders as possible who are good people, who are trying to lead in a good direction, and to whom people will be drawn, right? And so that's an opportunity in this country and in the world for men to step up and do a better job of exhibiting the best qualities that men are capable of.
Yeah. 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 While you were talking about the different types of leader, like being a leader and people will follow you, I couldn't stop thinking about cult leaders. Like those guys are insane. Like, I'm sorry, I'm out of a better word, but they are. Some of them are for sure, and they gather huge followings just because they have this confidence that you mentioned. They're probably not good people. Maybe they think they are. Who knows? I don't know. I never met one. But but they gather a massive following. Some of them, it's crazy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You look at what those people represent, what they talk about, and if you're a healthy person psychologically, you're going to be like, this person is crazy. But like you said, they have charisma, and they gather people towards them. And, a lot of times, most people in that kind of mold are stopped before they can do too much harm.
Yeah.
But again, going back to the example of Hitler, that guy, was crazy. And if you listened to what he was saying when he first started, people were probably like, this guy is a loon, and somebody's going to stop him. He's not going to go anywhere. But unfortunately, nobody stopped him, right? When it was early and he could have been stopped, nobody stood up to take the lead. There weren't enough good men.
I mean, Tom Cruise tried, but it didn't work.
Yeah, right. Tom Cruise. Yeah, he didn't quite get the job done. There was one really bad man, and there weren't enough good men who were willing to act when it was early on, and you could have stopped him and he wouldn't have done any damage, right? And so he was able to continue on. And that whole time, that was growing, there were people around saying, this guy's crazy. At some point, somebody has to do something. But they were never willing to be the ones, right? So that's the thing. To be a leader, you have to be willing to be the one, right? You have to be willing to take the chance, to step forward, to put yourself at risk. And that's the only way to get other people to follow you.
How can someone separate like this selflessness will of being a leader and truly help people separate that from narcissistic delusion? Because I feel like a lot of those leaders, like you see a lot of CEOs, like they're just a bunch of narcissistic assholes. I'm entitled to everything. I'm God on earth. I deserve everything. Everyone's below me, and I'm the chosen one. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Right.
And I don't feel like that's very, very healthy. That would fall into the toxic masculinity, I would say. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I think there was like a famous like psychological profile that was done of like the typical, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if it was a Fortune 500 CEO, but some survey that was done, and it was like the typical profile of this person matched the profile of a psychopath.
Yeah.
So absolutely. I think the difference is if you're connected to your authenticity, to your true self. If you yourself are in a healthy place and you're connected to your authenticity, then chances are your intentions are going to be good, and you're going to be coming from a good place in your leadership. Whereas if you're not connected to your own authenticity, then you're going to want power for the sake of power. And you're probably going to think that you want to do good and do the right thing. And maybe you do, but you just don't know how. And you're just exerting power because that's what you know how to do. And you keep getting more power because as we've discussed, as long as you're willing to exhibit the traits of a leader, people will follow you. So it doesn't matter which direction. You could be going in a bad direction, it'll still happen. So if a person is audacious enough, then they're going to move through life and they're going to be like, well, I keep doing this stuff and it keeps working, and it's not honest, or it's, I'm hurting people, but things keep going my way. Like, if it was that bad, I wouldn't be able to do it. God would stop me or whatever. But that's not how it works. That's not how life in this earth works. It's like ultimately it is. Ultimately, if you're a bad enough person, again, as we saw with Hitler, the rest of the world will gang up and they will stop you. But it just might take a long time. And you're going to do a lot of damage before that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Whew. Do you believe? Do you believe that the thing is, Max, is that while talking about Hitler, there's all those conspiracy theories that he fled to Argentina, right? So there
Yeah,
was no
I
real
know.
consequences for his acts. I don't know how much of this is true. I don't want to think that is true because I want to believe that. Do you? So let me get you my question. Do you believe in karma? Do you
Yeah,
think that's a real thing?
yeah, I do, for sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do. Yes. Yeah, and we don't have to talk about Hitler. There were a lot of people who took part in the Nazi plan who fled